So to make our tin can lotus flowers, we're going to start with 4 cans. One of them is a smaller diameter than the other 3. And then we're going to cut the cans to different heights. So say one to about there, one to a bit lower, one to lower again, and then this one, which is going to be the middle one, the smallest can, to about there. And to do that, you're just going to use a normal pair of scissors and just cut into the can like that, and you'll find that it will cut really easily. So I've done that, let's do the other ones. Alright, so you can see how I've cut my cans. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to divide each can into 6 bits. This is for the petals. So the best way to do it is to cut it in half first, and when you get to the bottom, make sure you cut right down past that little bit, as far down as you can get. Then go opposite, so it's exactly in half. You want to try and get your petals roughly symmetrical. And then each half divide into 3, so that you're going to get 6 bits all together. Once you've done that with this one, of course, do it with all of them. So I've divided all the sides of my cans into 6, and then you're going to bend them open just a little bit. And if it doesn't work, it's because you haven't cut down quite far enough here. So you might need to get your scissors and give a little snip again. Okay, so these are going to be our petals. Just do it gently. If you press on the outside as you pull it out, that should work. You might even tear the can a little bit. So you're going to have them all roughly opened out like this. Do this to all 4 of them now. So here are my 4 cans now opened up, and the next stage is to cut the petals. So we're going to have quite pointy petals, because that's what lotus flowers look like. So start from the middle and cut a point like that, and then turn it over, cut your other one like that. It's a bit of a wonky one. And you're going to do this on all 4 cans. So we now have our 4 flowers, and because we cut them to different heights, you'll see that they're different sizes. And there you go. And they're going to stack inside each other like this. So the next step is basically just tweaking how far open. So the biggest one and the bottom one, we want to be open as widely as possible. And the next one up. Now it won't bend very well, like this one isn't bending because I haven't cut. My cut doesn't go all the way down to the middle, so that's something you might need to tweak using your scissors. But once you've cut all the way down, you should be able to kind of change them around however you want. And when you put them on top of each other, obviously overlap them, don't put them directly mirroring each other. Put them in the gaps between the petals. So this one we want to be much more closed. That's the next one again, and then the middle one is really going to be quite closed. And there we have our lotus flower. Now obviously the next thing to do is paint it, so I'm going to spray paint this white. So I've made myself a spray booth out of a cardboard box, and obviously you're going to need to separate your flowers and spray them separately. Leave them to dry and then do the other sides as well. So I've sprayed my flowers, and if we put them together, you can now see that we've really got something that's looking more like a lotus flower or a lily. So now I'm going to use some pink paint and put some little streaks of pink up some of the petals, and then paint the centre yellow as well before I show you how to fasten them together. Alright, so I've got my 4 bits of flower, and you'll be able to see now that you're going to stack them up, overlapping them. And then this one's obviously going to go in the middle. There we go. And then now you could use this, you could glue them all together. I'm going to drill them because I want to stick it outside on my fence. And you could either do it, so I'm going to create 2 holes here and then thread a little bit of this thin wire through. Now you could possibly get a hammer and a sharp nail. If you separate them out, you could hammer your nail through and make holes that way, because this is just very soft. I'm going to use a nail. I'm going to use a drill, sorry. So I'm going to put a piece of wood underneath. I'm going to make sure everything's lined up the way I want it to be. Press everything down. And then turn that around a bit as well. That's better. I'm going to cut a bit of wire off. And then you're just going to thread it through. You might need to wiggle a bit if you're, it should come out the bottom like that. There you go. And through the other one. You want to pull it as tight as you can, twist it round, hold it all in place. Now to disguise that stitch in the middle, I'm going to do another little coat of yellow on the top there. But this is pretty much how our lily is going to look. I wanted to show you a slightly different version of the lotus flower that I made with actual food cans. So this middle one is the drinks can. You can recognise the domed shape, but this is a normal food tin, and then these are the wider bottomed tuna ones. So you've got 2 wide shaped ones, then your food one which is slightly smaller, and then your drinks one in the middle. Obviously if you're going to use this, then you're going to have to use a drill to pierce it, because the stronger aluminium you won't be able to hammer through that. Well, it'd be quite tricky. So I've finished both my flowers. This is the one made with the drinks cans. Lightweight. I expect that will float as well if you wanted to put it on water. I'm going to spray that with an exterior varnish and put that on my fence outside. This is a slightly heavier, sturdier one that's food cans. The 2 wider ones at the bottom are tuna, and just the very top, the centre one, is made out of a drinks can. Quite happy with those.